It's been 15 years since the destruction of the ring, and the orcs and goblins have stayed mostly dormant, living high in the mountains of Middle-earth. Now, of course, you would have your occasional goblin raid on a small village, but the soldiers of Gondor would quickly mobilize with small forces that would march into the mountains and take down goblin outposts with little resistance. And here we are again. Gondor mobilizes a small force to hunt down goblins who recently raided a small village, but this time it's different. Goblins have been patient, they've been waiting, planning, gathering forces. They feel that they have built an army strong enough to bring down Gondor, and this is their very first step of their master plan to completely crush the men of the West. And if they win this battle, not only will they gather tons of supplies, but they will send a message throughout all Middle-earth that Gondor can be beaten. After a victory like this, who knows how many goblins will be willing to pick up a sword and take on the men of the West once again. So what was supposed to be a fairly routine goblin hunt turned into a fight for survival. Alright, Knights of Apollo, welcome back to 3rd Age Total War Reforged. I know it's been a really long time since we played 3rd Age, and it's good to be back. And what better way to celebrate the return of 3rd Age than with a good old custom scenario made by Sin of the Dark Cloud. Now, before we dive into today's battle, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of my favorite sponsors, Displate. So Displate makes metal posters that are really high quality, really nice. They got some cool Lord of the Rings posters that I definitely want you guys to check out. So there's a link down below in the video description. If you use that link, you will get a discount and you will also support my channel. So it's a win-win. Thank you guys so much for checking out that link, and also big thank you to Displate. So yeah, what do we have here? Like I said in the intro, it is a massive mountain ambush. This is the 4th Age after the destruction of the ring, and the goblins have stayed fairly quiet. They've stayed fairly quiet, but they've been gathering. In fact, yeah, you got some trolls here who are loud and proud. Now, when I was making the intro for this, I was kind of thinking, you know, it'd be kind of cool to do like a story, to have like a series of battles that all relate to each other and kind of continue the story. It doesn't have to be a super complex or super, you know, intricate story. It could be a very simplistic story, you know, Gondor going and getting ambushed, you know, that kind of thing. And it has like effects of the ambush, you know, maybe the next battle is whatever happens in this battle, you know what I mean? So I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you like to see like some sort of story told within the battles? I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, what we have here is basically Gondor sending out a small force to destroy any goblin outposts, and like I said, it's fairly routine. You can see they're marching into the outpost now, and they're kind of discovering something. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Maybe they thought, oh, the goblins probably heard us coming, and their scouts spotted us, and they ran away. But something's off here. Something is off. Well, there's a huge army ready to surround the outpost. So let's go ahead and check out all the player names and all the armies on the battlefield before it starts to get really juicy. So starting with Gondor, there's 2 Gondor armies. We have Lango, who's leading Gondor, and then we have Sin of the Dark Cloud, who is leading the other Gondor army. So his forces are kind of mixed in here. Now, on the Goblin side, I think there's 5 armies, and they are mobilizing, guys. We've got Orcs of the Misty Mountains, led by DF. Up here in the north, we've got more Orcs, led by Mr. Sneakman. We've got another army. Oh, yeah, it's a big army, led by Alisan. So he's got another force. And then over in this area, we've got Tundra Fox. So he's mobilizing his forces. And then finally, we've got Inarius, who's leading another orc army. I think there's actually one more. Yes, there is. There's Enix Fix. So there you go. Those are, sorry if I slaughtered any of those names. But it's really cool. I like this map. The outpost looks really awesome. And the ambush is underway, guys. In Gondor, the scouts are running to the main army. They're like, my lord, it's a trap. It's a trap. We're surrounded. He's like, how many? Like, I don't know, a couple hundred? It's like, couple thousand. Like, oh, God. So, the good news is that Gondor is going to have the advantage of a defensive position. Of course, they've got the goblin outpost that they're going to hold, which is really a position of 3 choke points. They're fairly large choke points, though. So you have one here, right, leading into here. You got another one over here where the goblins are starting to push. And then you have where Gondor came in, which is over here. So it's still going to be pretty challenging. They do have some artillery. Good for them. They're lucky that one of the artillery regiments was like, hey, I want to go for a stroll. Oh, they have 2 artillery. They're like, hey, guys, can we go with the, can we go on this mission? Just, to stretch out our legs and, work on, moving artillery efficiently through the mountains, get some practice in. They're like, sure, okay. Well, thankfully, they brought some artillery because they're going to need it against such overwhelming numbers. So we have the marksman of Caer Andros moving forward, getting ready to let loose some arrows. The goblins, I think the goblins are kind of, well, they're they're getting ran over by some drake broodlings. So they've got some fire drakes that are kind of going a little ham here and running down their own orcs. That's okay. I think the general's right there too. Yeah, there's the general. The general is riding on a fire drake. How awesome is that? Only in 3rd Age, man. Only in 3rd Age. So the goblin infantry is starting to make a push, and I like the fact that they are sending in cheap infantry first. They're going to be able to absorb a lot of the ammo and also weaken a lot of the infantry of Gondor. And here we go. Gondor's trying to set up here. The archers have not yet let loose any arrows. I think they're still trying to get into a good position, but the Gondor infantry is gonna charge out and face the goblins. There we go. So this is a very big battle, guys. Of course, we're gonna have some frame rate issues. I do have the battle going a little slower than 1 speed to kind of help with the frame issues. Classic Medieval 2, issue here. It's such an old game. And here we go. The artillery, the fiery balls of justice are coming down on the goblin army. Look at this. Oh yes, the general who's leading this goblin army is feeling feeling pretty proud at the sight. He's never seen such a big army. Only the stories of his grandfather about the time during the War of the Ring. Hey, you know what? If we are gonna do a big story, like an ongoing story about these events, feel free to create some characters, guys. Who's the goblin general? What's his name? What's his backstory? I would love to see what you guys have to say. And also, who's leading the Gondor army? Who's the general in charge of this? I think that would be really cool. That way it's like we're all collabing? We're all contributing to the story that we're creating here. Anyways, lots of Gondor swordsmen and spearmen working together to bring down this light goblin infantry force. It doesn't seem too scary right now. Let's go over to the other side where it looks like nothing yet is happening. They have a little bit. Oh, wait. We do have goblins charging forward. Oh, and they got trolls in the mix too. How do we miss that? These trolls are completely disrupting Gondor's position in formation. And this ambush is turning into a fairly successful ambush, at least for right now. And now we have infantry who are charging in as reinforcements. Ooh, we got some Uruk hosts. So some Uruks charging in who are trying to support the cave trolls, who, of course, mindlessly charged in with their tree trunks. We got some big axemen trying to hold this kind of, I would say, the underbelly of the Gondor position. I mean, I would say this position here is the underbelly because, I don't know, it's not being well defended. Over here, the light infantry, the goblin infantry is just keeping a lot of Gondor troops busy. So a nice battle line going on there. Gondor is shifting around troops to try to maintain this, as I called it before, the underbelly of this Gondor defense. They're trying to prevent the orcs and uruks and goblins or whatever it may be they're throwing at them from being able to penetrate through this defense. We got a really good position here with the archers. We've got some Athelian rangers who are trying to soften up some orcs from afar. And there they go, just firing over the heads of their comrades who are holding the line, trying to soften up this flanking unit of mounted Uruk host. And they're actually trying to get around the flank. Oh no! Oh, that is dangerously close to friendly fire. Oh, there's definitely friendly fire there, but is it worth it? I don't know. We'll find out. Gondor hold. Oh, and the orcs, the trolls charging in. This is a problem. So the trolls might penetrate through here and create a pathway, a gap for goblin infantry to stream through. We'll see how that plays out. Oh yeah, lots of trolls in the mix. And then over on this side, this is the only thing. A unit of honor guard defending the flank of the main line, preventing any Uruks from being able to flank around, but yet they still can flank around. Look at this, Uruks have flanked around Gondor's position, and this truly is an ambush of chaos. Oh no, you have marksmen of Caer Andros who are already switching into melee mode. I mean, they're a very good unit, but you never want to have to use your archer-focused unit into melee right away. Now they are gonna pull out of there. We've got some axemen trying to hold off these orcs, which are causing them to break, so good on them. Over on the other side, fighting has begun as well. We got the Fountain Guard being the initial force here to hold against the goblin charge. So while this is going on, can we get a shout out on how cool of a map this is? So I don't know, Sin in the Dark Cloud, I don't know if you made this and you put in these little assets here, but I love the old, like, destroyed buildings. And this is kind of what inspired me to say that this was after the destruction of the ring. It's kind of like the rubble and the ruins of once a mighty goblin empire, now, or you know, Mordor Empire, whatever you want to call it, now just rubble and ruins. And they fight under the shade of these ruins. The goblins find inspiration. Oh, there we go. That's not inspiring though. Lots of artillery fire coming down on the orc army. Oh my god, this is a huge battle. This is causing a lot of framage. You know, I wish there was some way to improve the amount of RAM for Medieval 2 so it could handle these big battles like this. But again, as more troops die, it will improve the frame rate for sure. Incoming. Looks like we got some goblin infantry, some heavy goblin. Oh! An enemy general dies. And look at the Gondor general is fighting his heart out, doing everything he can. And there's the Gondor general. I think he killed the enemy general. That's huge. There he is. There he is. The Gondor general, man. He is going at it. Uh-oh. I think another general dies. I think that was another goblin general. Another goblin general has perished. Oh my god, look at these blood drakes. They are charging into the line and causing complete chaos. The men of Gondor are screaming for their lives. Over on this side of the battlefield, though, it looks like Gondor's still holding strong. Oh, juicy hits right there. Juicy hits. The battle horn of the orcs is going off as well. Man, can you imagine being a Gondor soldier, just kind of like, okay, I'm a little nervous. We're going into combat. We're going to destroy a goblin outpost, but they usually have like 50, 100, and then it ends up being thousands upon thousands. And there we go. Gondor's actually pushing up their reserves, and I think they're trying to reclaim this position. Arrows are streaming down. Another force of Fountain Guard moving up. Fire arrows are coming in. And it seems they've kind of reclaimed this area. They're reorganizing, which is good. This is still a problem over here, though. It's still a mess. It's a mosh pit of death. It is very confusing on who's winning over here. It does seem like they have some of the orcs contained in some sort of battle line, but the trolls are making this difficult. And really, the layout of this map can make it difficult. All the different buildings are causing, you know, it's making it difficult to form up proper lines. They're doing their best to hold. We've got some trolls taking on some Athelian rangers, but the rangers should handle themselves against these trolls. They might lose a couple, but you can see the trolls are already starting to drop. Fire arrows coming down on the orcs. Gondor desperately using fire to try to scare the orcs, because they know their best bet of survival is not completely killing the orcs, but causing them to mass rout. Oh, and I think that's exactly what's happening. Huge amounts of goblins are breaking, but guess what, guys? There are huge amounts of goblins in reserve. You can now see why this battle is so laggy. There are thousands upon thousands of soldiers on the battlefield right now. It's causing such a, I don't know, it's such a mighty force. I mean, think about how long the goblins had to have waited. I mean, obviously 15 years. They probably had to wait the whole 15 years to build a force like this. And keep it secret as well. You know, keep it hidden. There we go. That's a huge break right there on the goblins. But again, it's going to be reinforced with reserves. And I'm sure some of those goblin troops who are breaking will return to the battlefield. Gondor's now pushing back. They're trying to reclaim the land. Artillery gets a juicy hit. Oh, yes. Oh my god. That is crazy. Back over this way, we've got some Black Uruks of the mountains. Certainly of the mountains. As they fight in the mountains. Marksmen of Care Andrews once again having to go into melee to protect the flanks of their swordsmen, their infantry. We've got the general charging in, going after the Uruk hosts, who are breaking them, which is good on them. The general is going ham right now. What a lad. What an absolute lad. Just doing what he can to defend the flanks. Where is he? I don't think he's dead. It's a bit chaotic right now. Oh! Oof. Look at all the arrows flying in. That's juicy. That is juicy. So we're starting to see a lot of archers having to go into melee. That is a problem for Gondor. Over here, though, I mean, it looks like most of the goblins have charged in their reserves. I mean, I am still seeing like maybe like 3 or 4 units of reserves, but I feel like Gondor has the best chances over here. If they can cause a mass rout, they will be able to free up some units to shift over and help with other parts of the battlefield. Look at this battlefield. Now they do have, I wonder, can they, this is actually really cool that they can hold in here, but they have Wardens of the White Tower. I'm curious if they're gonna fall back and hold this inner structure. Like, that wouldn't be too crazy. Oh, this is so cool. I wonder if they can run through this little gap here. That's pretty awesome. That's really cool. Let's go back over here. This is also pretty promising for Gondor, though it's a lot of orcs and goblins they have to deal with. So we are a little less than halfway through the battle, and it's gotten a little bit better for Gondor. It's still pretty much the same in terms of the balance of power. Percentage lost is about the same for both forces, around the mid-40s. We have the general running around, again looking for opportunities for hammer and anvil. Trying to protect the artillery crew, which they have been protected. Unfortunately, well, no, they have all three functional. Fire arrows going overhead. So awesome. We'll go ahead. Let's do some crazy slow motion. Let's do some very slow motion. Oh, another general has fallen. I think that's another orc general. That could have been a Gondor general. I'm not sure. Look at this. Oh. Juicy. Yes. Fire arrows flying in as well. Look at that. That's crazy. That is crazy. That looks really cool. Look at the men boldly standing, trying to fight these orcs. The fire arrows flying overhead and more artillery hits coming down and weakening the goblin army. Look at that. Another big rout. Another big rout from the goblins. Again, not too surprising. It's not like it's game changing, but it's definitely needed. And these are like weaker units, and they might return, but even if they do return, they will return weakened. Their morale will definitely be a lot less strong. Gondor desperately trying to hold here. Again, trying to desperately hold the flanks of his army. The underbelly, look at this big goblin force routing. They've kind of broken through the flank and they're routing. The marksmen of Caer Andros are taking on the Black Uruks of the mountains still. As you know, it's been a good, like, what, 5 minutes since they started fighting them. And I think there's also been hammer and anvil strikes from the general, which I honestly don't even know if the general is still alive. I don't see him. I mean, he kind of stands out. You know, he's got long brown hair, and the rest are wearing helmets. He might be dead, which is not good for Gondor. Let's go back. Oh, look at this. The trolls are able to charge the catapults. Look at this huge troll force. And the marksmen are trying to defend it. And this is just perfect, guys. I mean, just perfect. This is what an ambush would feel like. Chaos. You know, just... No, I mean, there's some proper battle lines, but in a lot of different areas on the battlefield, it is just pure chaos. Gondor trying to hold here. These are some really good units against not so great units, but there's so many of them. Look at just the bodies of dead orcs. We got Athelian Rangers in the mix as well. Seems that Gondor is just throwing whatever they've got into the front line. Truly is a battle of survival. So head back over here where, unfortunately, we got some Black Uruks in the mountains surrounding the Axemen. So these Axemen are probably not going to hold much longer, even though it says the balance of forces is evenly matched, which is kind of crazy. So you can definitely tell the frame rate is getting better as units are starting to leave the battlefield and starting to die. The frame rate is getting a lot better. There's just so many units on the battlefield. We've got the Fountain Guard almost forming like a square formation. You see this? Holding multiple positions, or not positions, but multiple flanks. That's the good thing about that square formation. Got some axemen in the mix as well. Oh my god. You vile creatures! Got another thin force of Gondorian troops holding against a huge wave of orcs. Hey, but what's going on here? Actually, there's some troops that have been victorious. We've got the marksmen of Caer Andros going in to reinforce this front line. Or really just go somewhere. Yeah, they're just gonna charge in. This is pretty good. Gondor has freed up some units. And are they winning over here? They are. Mostly. This is really good. Gondor is winning on this flank. There is some hope at last. Gondor general charging in, running down these orcs, making sure they don't return. Sorry, there's like a little pit right here that I keep falling into with the camera. Now the orcs are returning, but look at they're shaking, they're tired, they don't have much stomach to fight. So the general might be able to cause a huge chain rout and keep chasing them to make sure they don't return. Oh wait, there's the general. He's still in it. The general is still in it. Nice. That's sick. So the general is still alive. That is good. You know, he got lost in the chaos of battle and we couldn't find him. So they have claimed victory, essentially. There's some orcs still alive here that might be a problem, but they desperately need these reinforcements to help out on the other sides of the battlefield. And just look at the mini-map. Look at the ocean of red. Those are all the orc units. Got the drummer trolls. This troll just like seems so uninterested. He's just like, whatever, boom, boom. I just hungry. Me hungry. I just want food. And, oh, looks like Gondor's about to collapse here, but look who shows up right in time. Some honor guard. Actually, multiple units, a fountain guard and an honor guard. Multiple units coming over to help. Right in time. Right in time. We got a small pocket of fighting over here, mostly Caer Andros taking on some mountain orc berserkers and some Goblin King's bodyguard. Again, the general charging where he can find opportunities. Oh, a player has admitted defeat. So, one army down, 4 more to go. The balance of power has shifted slightly in favor of Gondor. I mean, it's still in favor of the orcs, but I meant more in favor of Gondor compared to what it was. But this is a problem right here. This entire position could collapse at any second. We've got Gondor surrounded by orcs. This could be really bad. Gondor needs to do something here. I mean, it's complete chaos. They need another huge chain route. Here's the general again. Look at him. It's like, ah! Not done yet. He's going to protect the catapults. Now, unfortunately, the goblins did rally. I'm sure when they saw that Gondor was kind of panicking to rush to other positions, they were like, hey, you know what? We're actually doing some good here. So they're going to charge back in. And the general, alone, single-handedly, is going to try to delay these orcs for a few minutes to buy time for his army. More goblins are shifting over this way. That's so awesome. Going through that little gap right there. I didn't know you could. This is a cool little map. Look at the battlefield, guys. Look at the chaos of this battlefield. The orcs charging in, the general right there, trying to delay them. I don't know. The more I see, the more this battle goes on. Oh, wait a second. That was some artillery. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, and it causes a huge rout. That's exactly what they needed. It was totally worth the friendly fire. Oh, wait, what's this? There's a unit of Fountain Guard that are now protecting the artillery. That is absolutely vital. They've got to protect the artillery. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, yeah. Going after these Snaga skirmishers. Beautiful. Fantastic. So that artillery might win them the day. If this artillery can break more units, it might just win them the day. Oh, look how cool this is. Gondor archers also letting loose some arrows right next to the artillery. Like, we have no choice. We have to fight. There's no surrender. You can't surrender to orcs. They're not going to give you any mercy. This is a problem, though, for Gondor. A big problem. They've completely lost this flank. The orcs are finishing up the last of the Gondor troops. And now they're going to be able to push in. And Gondor is getting pushed back and back and back. Pretty soon, both Gondor flanks are going to be, you know, on each other's backs, essentially. Well, let's see. Okay, over here, the general, once again, no surprise, these guys are mass routing. They've already mass route before. I'm not surprised that the general is able to run them down and cause that to happen. Plus, the general is awesome. So yeah, they're running down these orcs. It doesn't look like they're going to return too quickly. Fountain Guard in position. Vanguard. Let's see. We've got, okay, cool. We've got the Honor Guard now switching over to this front. Uh-oh, am I seeing Gondor? Oh, yeah, the spearmen, Gondor spearmen are breaking. Where are you going to run to? We're surrounded. Looks like Gondor's winning over here as well. This is huge. Fountain Guard and Honor Guard, if you can quickly kill, look at this guy. He's like stabbing. He's like, yeah, get out of here, goblin scum. Gondor doing their best. Fountain Guard are surrounded. Marksmen of Caer Andros holding this front. The Honor Guard holding as well. Oh no! Some friendly fire. I don't think these catapults are functional anymore, so it's not a big loss that he lost this catapult. Got more Gondor troops trying to stop this push over here by the Black Uruks of the mountains, who are headed straight for the catapult, which it looks like they're going to be able to get to in silence. That is not good for Gondor. But finally, the Honor Guard and the Fountain Guard are going to be able to maneuver over to the other front of this battlefield. So we are closing in pretty soon on the late stage of this battle. The balance of power has been pretty much the same for this entire battle. Gondor has not really been able to get an edge over their enemies. I mean, it might be time where Gondor needs to form a square, a protective box or something, to where they can hold off with less troops against much larger numbers. But it's not looking good. Look at They're just cleaning up troops, surrounding them. Look at look at these like stone. It looks like they're stoned out orcs or trolls. It's like, oh, play music, get food, be happy. Oh man, and this general has been going ham. I wonder how many kills he has. Probably has a ton. Oh no! One of the Gondor's generals he's been killed. Uh-oh. This might be the end, guys. This might be the end. Gondor hold out. Now, they do have some very professional troops, but I don't care how professional you are. If you find yourself surrounded by so many numbers, there's no way you can fight through everything. Now, Gondor is shifting around, and the general's still looking for opportunities to cause a mass rout. I mean, I think at this point, guys, Gondor is down to Fountain Guard and General. And the General. I was going to say Generals, but the other one died. So they're down to their General. If they pull this off, this will be an absolute miracle. Comes another charge from the general. I love to see it. And it is causing, he is breaking. It's like, okay, it's cool that this general's going in and breaking units, but most of the time it's like light infantry and it doesn't really matter. But you can always hope, right? Look at it, look at these. Look at these Gondor troops just swimming in an ocean of orcs. It's like, die! And the trolls. Don't forget the trolls. Alright. I don't know. The balance of power is getting worse and worse. I think, guys, that Gondor has been completely crushed. I mean, they killed a ton. I mean, look at this. Look at the amount of losses over here. They've killed a ton of troops. But, unfortunately, they are not. I mean, you still got some Gondor troops putting up a fight, but they are not going to be able to fight their way out of this ambush. And it makes you wonder what's gonna happen. Will this battle be a battle cry for other goblins to join the ranks? How many goblins will join the ranks? Will they have an army twice this size? 3 times this size? How many goblins are there? Trolls playing their drums. Playing their drums at the same time, bashing in the skulls of this honor guard. More trolls coming in, and yeah, they are crushing. And over here, here's what's left of the general. The general's bodyguard. Here's the general, all bloodied. All bloodied. He's running away. Tell your story. Oh, but the goblins are chasing him. So yeah, I think it's safe to fast forward this to the end, and that is going to conclude this battle. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be interested in a story here, you know. And again, you guys can collab here. There. Oh, okay, the general has been captured. So you guys can collab. You can come up with some stories of some characters. You can, heroes of certain battles or whatever. I'd love to read it and see what you guys have to say. So there you go. Here are the kills. Unfortunately, it doesn't play it doesn't show the player names, but we got a lot of kills from. This just shows how many troops are on the battlefield. Just add this up, guys. Look at that. So many troops, thousands upon thousands, but completely outnumbered by a ton. They ended up getting 8,000 plus 7,000 kills. So. Whew, what a fight. That was really fun to watch. I enjoyed that one a lot. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Also, again, check out the link down below to Displate. They've got some really cool Lord of the Rings posters that I definitely want to get soon as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And what's to come for Gondor? What is going to happen? We'll find out soon. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time on the battlefield.